Thank you very much and good morning. Let me begin by paying tribute to my friend and colleague, Congresswoman Lynn Woolsey of California. There are few individuals in Congress who really can match her passion for ending the war and occupation in Iraq. She was the first member of Congress to introduce a resolution calling for the withdrawal of our young men and women several years ago. And so I'm proud to serve with you, Congresswoman Woolsey, as co-chair of the Progressive Caucus, and thank you very much for your vision and your steadfastness. How many times now have you been on the floor of Congress at night?
264.
Every night she's there, every night, after session, late at night, bringing forth to the American public what we have done in our country, unfortunately. So thank you, Lynn. So I want to welcome you. I want to just say how good it is to see you. I had the opportunity actually to talk with you during the 4-day Winter Soldier weekend in Silver Spring. It was over the radio. And I remember one of the persons I talked with wanted to know why there weren't more members of Congress or any members of Congress there. And I mentioned then that we all were in our districts that weekend, Congresswoman Woolsey, Congresswoman Waters, all of us, including myself, doing much of what we do every weekend in terms of organizing constituent work, all of the activities. But in fact, I knew that we wanted to be there with you. And someone asked me over the telephone during the interview, well, what about having a hearing in Washington, D.C.? And I said, right, I know that Congresswoman Woolsey and Waters and many members of Congress would welcome you and greet you, and this day is long overdue. And so this is really, I think I have to thank our staff. I have to thank all of you for following up to make sure that this happened and that you're here today bringing your stories, the real stories, with regard to what has taken place. And of course, it's really ironic that today we will debate and vote on 3 amendments to the Iraq Supplemental Appropriations Bill. Of course, I plan, and I know Congresswoman Woolsey and Waters plan to vote against the amendment, providing an additional, can you believe this, $183 billion more money to fund this occupation and war through June of 2009. We have long advocated that funding be appropriated only for the limited purpose of fully funding the safe and responsible redeployment of American troops and contractors from Iraq. No more funds for combat operation. We offered an amendment last night that would do just that. Regrettably, my amendment was not accepted, so once again, I intend to vote against funding this war and occupation. Now, a second amendment to the supplemental contains 2 restrictions and conditions that we have championed. First is the prohibition against the establishment of permanent military bases in Iraq. We need to, once again, make sure the President understands that is what the American people want. It's been passed and signed into law at least 8 times, and actually the President has issued a signing statement basically saying he's not going to comply with the law. So once again, we're going to do it again. The second condition that we have championed will prohibit the President from negotiating, entering into, or implementing any agreement with the government of Iraq that includes security assurances for mutual defense unless the agreement is in the form of a treaty requiring ratification by the Senate or is specifically authorized by law. Today's proceedings are historic because it has been 37 years since the first gathering of winter soldiers convened in Detroit in 1971 to speak out against the Vietnam War.